Hello and welcome back to Bad Drinks TV. This is our second season. I'm H, I'm your host, and we're going to talk about the myth, the legend, the all-star that is the f***ing margarita. So here we go, the margarita. Well, what can it be made with? Well, it's very simple. The margarita is actually possibly named after a drink called the daisy, because margarita in Spanish is daisy, and daisy is also a flower. Now, the fact is that a daisy about 100 years before the margarita came along was actually any base liquor with a citrus and a sweetening agent, which is usually a sugar or a liqueur, usually a clearer liqueur, and sometimes topped with soda. Now, around the 1920s, obviously, Prohibition came along, one of the worst experiences in history. Fucking not a good time. And so a lot of Americans, especially those who didn't have money, can jaunt off around the world to Europe and just nipped over the borders to Mexico. Because Mexico was no way going to do Prohibition. Are you kidding me? Not going to happen. Now, you can make a margarita with lots of things. So, with all these tequilas, okay? So you got blancos, you got reposados, you got añejos, okay? Now, it all depends on the flavor you're looking at. I like a margarita with a blanco, okay? Or these ones, because I love the fresh, raw flavor of the agave. And then the repo gives a little bit more of the orangey flavors. And then, of course, you go into a Grand Añejos or Añejos, you're looking at a bit more woody flavors, okay? So I prefer to do with a blanco, but you can do any of these. It's up to you, and it's up to you how much money you want to spend, okay? Now, as regards to the sweetening agents, well, I traditionally use Cointreau. I do love dry curacao though as well. Grand Marnier can as well, but then you're going into more of something which is called the Grand Cadillac Margarita, which is really a high-end tequila with the Grand Marnier. And believe me, I know I do a stupidly expensive one here at my bar. So we're going to go now quickly into the stories of the margarita. Now, the margarita has got some wonderful stories, and it's 5 ladies. Okay, so we're going to have a little drink of tequila. I love a good blanco. I've got a real thing for blanco tequilas because for me, it's literally the eau de vie of Mexico in a glass. I think it's beautiful. I love the rawness. I love the flavor. And so here we go, the 5 stories. Right, 5 ladies. Lady number 1, 1938, a bartender, obviously, made a drink for one of his favorite Mexican showgirls called Rita de la Rosa. Lady number 2, who songs Cantina in California. I suppose in around 1941, a bartender made a drink for one of his favorite regulars, who was a Mexican-German lady called Margarita Heskel Cesesna. Allegedly, she was the German ambassador. And then we have lady number 3, and this is rather lovely little sweet little story. A bartender for his girlfriend at a bar he was working at in around the 1930s, who loved salt in her drink, and he made a drink for her, and her name, of course, was Margarita. Shocking. And then we have lady number 4. Lady number 4 was a socialite from Dallas, Texas. So she was a rich white lady. She used to make this drink, supposedly. Called a margarita, after her, because her name was Margarita. And at these big parties, supposedly people like Tommy Hilton was there, and of course he's built the Hilton Empire, and margarita was made in all his hotel bars. And then we have finally lady number 5, Peggy Lee. Peggy Margaret Lee. And that's a bartender made the drink for her. Okay, so that's the 5 ladies and 1 drink, the margarita. Now, my final story. I'm going to get myself a rather nice, stupidly old añejo, because this is my favorite story. And here it is. I love this story. This is going to make you laugh, but it's the one I think is the most truthful. All right? So let's just have a little bit of this. Oh, baby. Fucking do love some good tequilas. Right. So the story goes that basically a guy who owned a newspaper magazine, he was the owner, the editor, and he was out in bars in Mexico in the 1930s, late 1930s. And basically, during Prohibition, obviously, bars in Mexico went through the fucking roof. So he started to go and see these bars after the Prohibition. And of course, these used to be 150, there only actually ended up being 10 left. Now, he wanted to go and see them, and he went to this bar that was famous for making a drink called the Tequila Daisy. So basically, a Tequila Daisy is basically a margarita because it's tequila, citrus, and probably Cointreau, or there is also a tequila triple sec that's available, or a dry curacao, or even a Grand Marnier. All right. So he went to this bar, very famous bar in its time, and he went there and spoke to the owner, who was an Irishman. Love it. And this is what he said. Basically, he f***ed up. He grabbed the wrong bottle. So customer probably asked for a Daisy, so he probably actually went for a brandy, but by mistake, he grabbed tequila. And then billions of margaritas later, we have the margarita. And I think that's the best story. Okay, I really do. Somebody, a bartender, f***ed up, grabbed the wrong bottle, customers loved it, and there we go. 90 years later, we have the margarita. So this is in honor of the wonderful, fantastic Irish bartender who f***ed up, made a mistake, got the f***ing way with it, and created a margarita. And then we're going to show you how I make my drink. Lovely. But something you should know. The first ever written reference of a sort of a tequila style margarita drink was actually a drink called the Picador, which you will find in W.J. Tarling's 1937 edition of the Café Royale cocktail book. But incidentally, he was also the first president of the UK Bartenders Guild. But the drink was called a Picador, but it wasn't called a margarita until really in the 1950s, where it's in supposedly Esquire magazine. But this is how I do my margarita. Now the margarita can be a mix of any of these three ingredients. Lime would be best. If you haven't got lime, okay, go with lemon if you have to. Tequila and a triple sec, okay? But this is how I do mine. Really f***ing easy, all right? First, I prepare my glass. I get a nice big rocks glass. If you don't have a glass, use a f***ing mug. Try not to use plastic, please. So either use a mug or a glass. So, what I do is, get your lime, cut in the middle, like this. I like to massage one side, okay? Then, another little thing, always have a nice little towel. I've told you before, towels are important. Just go through Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, all right? You'll find it in there. Salt. All right, I like to just do about 1/3. I use a Himalayan salt because I just love the flavor profile of it. Okay, and there we go. There it is. A little rim. Then here we go. Really f***ing easy. We're just going to add. I'm going to use a different tequila. This is my well tequila. That's what I use. It's simple price point. It's cheapest decent one I can find. So I do 1.5 ounces of tequila. Then I do 3/4 of Cointreau or triple sec. I know that the margarita, you can blend it. You can shake it, you can strain it, you can pour it, you can, whatever you want to do, okay? It's the beauty of a margarita, all right? Try and use fresh lime juice, okay, please. I do 3/4 of lime, okay? And there you go. It's really is that simple. Just 1.5 ounces of tequila, 3/4 of Cointreau, 3/4 of lime juice. Add some ice, put a bit of salt on the rim of your glass. You don't have to put salt on the rim of your glass, but you can if you want to. Look at that one. Put it in there. Give it a bit of f***ing welly. Here we go again. And one of my favourite bits about this drink, a dirty pour. Who can't fucking beat a dirty pour? Fucking love it. All right, and there you go. That's it. You can put a dehydrated lime on top if you want, which I could do right here. I'll do that for you. Or you can put a lime wedge on top. You can put a lime wheel. You don't even have to do that. You're just going to drink the and that's it. It's a margarita. It's a great drink. Lots of stories. Please look them up. All right, there's a lot of in there. And there we go. It's a margarita, baby. Oh, it's a lovely drink. Oh, it's lovely. I know some people add shit to this. Don't. Just stick with tequila, lime, and Cointreau. That's it. Right? Don't start adding shit to it. Okay? You don't need to. It's a perfectly beautiful drink. And enjoy. Now, f*** off. I'm going to have my margarita. Get home safe.